Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss one of the important technique which is used for the separation of proteins in clinical laboratory, that is electrophoresis. Learning objective for today's video are: first we will see definition of electrophoresis, then we will see what is the procedure of electrophoresis, what is the normal electrophoresis pattern seen in case of normal serum sample. Then we will see what are the various different electrophoresis pattern seen in case of various diseases. And in the end, we will see what are the various types of electrophoresis. To download lecture notes and other interesting stuff related to biochemistry, please visit website biochemistrybasics.com. First, definition of electrophoresis. So the term electrophoresis refers to the movement of charged particles through an electrolyte when subjected to an electrical field. In the electrophoresis, positively charged particles, that is cations, move to the cathode side, and negatively charged particles, that is anions, move towards anode. Now, what are the various analytes separated by electrophoresis? So the first one is protein and peptides. Second one is nucleotides and nucleosides. Then organic acids, hemoglobin variants, lipoproteins, and isoenzymes. So these are the various analytes that can be separated by electrophoresis. Now electrophoresis consists of 5 components. First component is the driving force, that is electrical power. Second one is support medium. Third one is buffer. Fourth one is the sample. And the fifth and last one is the detecting system. This is the picture of electrophoresis apparatus. This is the tank which contains the buffer solution, and the pH of buffer solution is around 8.6. Then electrical power or driving force supplied by the cathode and anode. This tank containing buffer solution is covered with the lead. This is the support medium, and this is the point of application of sample. This is the electrophoresis apparatus with electrical supply. This is the electrophoresis tank which contains the buffer solution and electrical supply provided by the electrode, that is anode and cathode, and this is the sample wells over which sample is applied, and this is the direction of movement of separation. Now, what are the various factors affecting electrophoresis? The rate of migration, that is separation of particles during electrophoresis, is depend on various factors like net charge on the particles, mass and shape of the particles, the pH of medium, strength of electrical field, properties of the supporting medium, and temperature. So these are the various factors affecting electrophoresis or separation of particles. Now, what are the various support materials used in electrophoresis? So the first one is filter paper. If the support medium is filter paper, then electrophoresis is carried out for 16 to 18 hours at a low voltage. This long time interval and the diffusion of particles leading to blurring of margins are the big disadvantage of using filter paper as a support material in electrophoresis. Cellulose acetate membrane as a support medium. Nowadays, preferred solid support media for the horizontal electrophoresis is the cellulose acetate membrane strips. They are quite expensive, but the process takes less than 1 hour and there is an excellent separation without diffusion in using cellulose acetate membrane as a support medium in electrophoresis. Cellulose acetate strips are widely used for the separation and identification of lipoproteins, isoenzymes, and hemoglobins. Third support medium is agar or agarose. They are less expensive as compared to the cellulose acetate, and both are heterogeneous polysaccharides. They are viscous liquids when they are hot and solidified to gel on cooling. And the gel is prepared in the buffer and sprayed over microscopic slides and allowed to cool. and small sample of serum or biological fluid is applied by cutting into the gel with sharp edge. So that is agar or agarose as a support medium. And the electrophoretic run in the agar or agarose, it takes about 90 minutes. Fourth support medium is polyacrylamide gel. Polyacrylamide gel is the polymer of acrylamide. Several layers of gels of different pore sizes are used in the polyacrylamide gel, and this gel has a high loading capacity and it is routinely used to separate DNA and individual proteins like isoenzymes. The gels are uncharged and are commercially available with wide variety of pore size. Power supply. So power supply function is to supply power during the electrophoresis process, and it allows regulation of conditions like operation at constant voltage, current or power, which are all adjustable as per the requirements. One important thing for the electrophoresis is the buffer solution. Buffers can affect the charge on the ampholyte by change in the pH as well as in the ionic strength. These are the various support mediums and other components required for the electrophoresis. Now, what is the general procedure for the serum protein electrophoresis? There are the 4 steps required for the serum protein electrophoresis. First one is preparation of slides. Second one is loading of samples. Third one is electrophoretic run. And the fourth and last one is fixing and staining. Visualization of protein bands. So once electrophoretic run is over, the proteins are fixed to the solid support using fixatives like acetone or methanol. And then it is stained by using various dyes like amidose quartz, naphthalene blue, naphthalene black or Comasi blue, and then they are de-stained by using dilute acetic acid. And the electrophoretogram can be scanned using densitometer and each band quantified. This is the normal electrophoretic pattern seen in case of normal serum sample. There are 5 bands. First one is of albumin, second one is of alpha-1 globulin, third one is of alpha-2 globulin, fourth one is beta globulin, and the last one is gamma globulin. Albumin has the maximum mobility and gamma globulin has the minimum mobility. So again, this is the electrophoretic pattern seen in case of serum sample. So this is the electrophoresis of normal serum sample. This is the picture showing the electrophoretic pattern seen in case of various diseases. So these are the abnormal patterns. This is the pattern seen in case of normal serum sample. There are 5 bands: albumin, alpha-1 globulin, alpha-2 globulin, beta globulin and gamma globulin. This is the electrophoretic pattern seen in case of hypoalbuminemia. Hypoalbuminemia is characterized by decreased concentration of albumin, so the albumin band will be lower as compared to the normal one, and there is a compensatory increase in gamma globulin, so the globulin band will be the wider as compared to the normal serum sample. This is the electrophoretic pattern seen in case of nephrotic syndrome. Nephrotic syndrome is characterized by proteinuria, so there will be the hypoalbuminemia along with hyperlipidemia. There is a hyperlipidemia, this is the printing mistake. So there will be the albumin band will be the lower and small as compared to the normal serum sample, and there is also accumulation of alpha-2 macroglobulin. So there will be the alpha-2 band will be the larger as compared to the normal serum sample. This is the electrophoretic pattern seen in case of multiple myeloma, which is an example of monoclonal gammopathy. There is a M characteristic M band seen in between the beta and gamma region. So there is a M spike seen in case of multiple myeloma. This is the electrophoresis pattern seen in case of alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. Alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency is characterized by development of emphysema. And as there is a deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin, so there will be absence of alpha-1 band. And this is the electrophoresis pattern seen in case of polyclonal gammopathy. This is the electrophoresis pattern of normal urine, albumin band, alpha band, beta and gamma. This is the electrophoretic pattern of urine of nephrotic syndrome. So as nephrotic syndrome is characterized by proteinuria, so there will be the sharp increase in the albumin band. This is the Bence-Jones protein, and this is the electrophoresis pattern if plasma is used instead of serum. In the plasma, as there is a presence of fibrinogen, so there will be the characteristic fibrinogen band in between the beta and gamma region, which will mimic the M band which is seen in case of multiple myeloma. So if plasma is used instead of serum, then there will be the characteristic fibrinogen band in between the beta and gamma region, and it will mimic the M band which is seen in multiple myeloma. These are the various abnormal patterns seen in electrophoresis in various disorders. This is the picture showing the various types of electrophoresis. So main two types of electrophoresis are capillary electrophoresis and John electrophoresis. In the John electrophoresis, it is further classified into two subcategories, that is paper electrophoresis and gel electrophoresis. And gel electrophoresis is further classified into four categories, that is cellulose acetate gel electrophoresis, agarose gel electrophoresis, polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, and SDS page. So these are the various types of electrophoresis. First we will see polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. So it has a high molecular sieving effect, so the separation is very efficient in polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. In agar gel electrophoresis, serum components are separated into 5 fractions, while in page, serum will show more than 20 different bands because of molecular sieving effect. And another common variant is SDS page electrophoresis. And the SDS page is commonly used for molecular weight determination as well as for assessing the purity of proteins. Second type is immuno electrophoresis. As the name suggests, in immuno electrophoresis, there is an antigen antibody reaction. So in the electrophoresis is carried out first by applying the patient's serum into the wells cut out in the agar or agarose gel, and then proteins are now separated, and after that, to visualize them, specific antibody is placed in the cut into the gel, and then they are incubated. So these are the electrophoresis separation of proteins, but they are not visible. So antibodies added to the well and they are incubated, so the antigen antibody reaction take place and the bands are visible. So that is immuno electrophoresis. Third one is isoelectric focusing. Isoelectric focusing is the modification of electrophoresis. Charged proteins migrate through a support medium that has a continuous pH gradient, and the individual proteins move in the electrical field until they reach a pH equal to their isoelectric point, and at that point they have no charge and they cease to move. So that is isoelectric focusing. And the last one is capillary electrophoresis. So in the capillary electrophoresis, gel is taken in a capillary tube of small bore and having 100 to 200 centimeter in length. So this is the picture of capillary electrophoresis. This is the capillary which is fused with silica, and this is the sample plug. And nanoliter range of sample is injected into the tube, and this is connected to the buffer, and high voltage power supply of 25,000 volt is applied. And within few minutes components are separated. So that is all about electrophoresis. These are my references. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe Biochemistry Basics by Dr. Amit. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you can get all the notifications from it. Thank you.